Let's try it again. Number 9. Refer to figure 204.2. The wire to load 2 is 1 gauge and the wire to load 1 is 2/0. Because each of the loads is 3-phase, 3-wire, there's a total of 6 wires in the conduit between the 2 pull boxes. Looks like we're talking about right in there. How much current can the wire to load 1? Okay, we're talking about load 1. Looks like it's a 2/0, right? Load 1 carry in the high temperature area where the temperature is 123 degrees Fahrenheit. So very similar to the last question. It doesn't hurt to have a couple more of these, or at least one more of these to kind of reinforce the topic here. We're basically going to get the ampacity of the wire. We're going to apply our adjustment factors. And that's it. That's about it. Now, one thing you need to know here is because it's not telling you specifically, but if you're not given a specific wire type or an insulation, it is safe to go with copper THHN, and that does seem to be a pretty fair universal rule. Now, generally, I do believe PSI will give you that those data points, but I know in our curriculum and most widespread, it is safe to use copper and THHN because that is the most prolific of conductors that we are working with on a regular basis. So let's go find this out. 2/0. Let's start there. 2/0 right here. THHN, again, we already had a brief discussion on it, but it's a 90 degrees Celsius conductor, so we will be using the 90 degrees Celsius column. It is worth 195 amperes in that 90 degrees Celsius column. Remember, we're using 90 degrees because we're derating, okay? And we're allowed to start there for purposes of derating, okay? You can find that little bit of information up here in, I believe it's just straight 31015. If you're interested, ampacity tables, it's going to tell you some information about how it works, and that we can use the temperature correction and adjustment factors shall be permitted to be applied to the ampacity for the temperature rating of the conductor. Okay, so if it's a 90 degree, we can start there. Okay, that's just where that little bit of information comes from. In case you are ever wondering, right at the beginning at 31015 there is where we get our rules. Okay, so we are starting at 195 amperes, and then we are going to get penalized from there, right? I've got 6 current carrying conductors, which is a little less inconvenient than 32. We're only getting a penalty down at 80% here. Okay, so I'm going to take that and put 0.8 into my calculation, and I will continue my multiplying across. Okay, 4 to 6 conductors, 80%. Okay, then I'm going to go up to my next one. We already discussed a little bit about these two tables, how they work, and we kind of came to the conclusion that we will be using this table probably for 95 to 98% of our calculations. Okay, we are in Fahrenheit again. Remember, Fahrenheit is on the right side of the table. We are a 90 degrees Celsius conductor, being THHN. And what we're going to do is just work our way down until we find the column or category we're in. And in this case, at 125 degrees Fahrenheit, again, what was it say? 123 degrees Fahrenheit. Regardless, it falls into the same section. So we will take that same 0.76 reduction right there. Okay, so we will take that reduction. It's kind of funny hitting this section after hitting your demand factors because those were kind of helping us. Here they're just kicking us in the teeth like every time, but whatever, that's life. So I started with a robust 95 amperes. I stuffed too many wires in the pipe, so I took a reduction of 0.8, and then I ran it through an area that was really hot, so I took another reduction of 0.76 down to a paltry 118.56 amperes. Now, we can always, due to the fraction of an ampere rule in 220.5b, take that up, right, to 119, which we will find right here under delta. Okay, there you go.